Daniel Ruiz, you're Managing Director of DINIC, it's a technology solutions company for the transport sector. You spoke a bit earlier at the CIHT conference today about the drivers for the future being information and the enablers being technology. Have we got the skills to meet this challenge?
Have we in the UK got the skills? I think
have we in the highway sector?
And in the highway sector similarly, we have. Those skills are there in droves. The challenge is to kind of harness them, and in order to do that, we need to kind of bring them together and actually enable the various components of a far more complex system to fit together.
One of the challenges the industry faces is that it is still really quite focused on delivering traditional models. It's focused around delivering cheaper tarmac solutions, cheaper concrete solutions. How do you get the industry to think more clearly about the opportunities of the future?
There's a step change required. That step change is partly in terms of the economics, the business case, justification for doing things slightly differently and being a bit brave. And the other is the recognition that yes, you can see immediate returns, impact on GDP by investment in tarmac, and you don't see that immediate return and impact on GDP by investment in electronics, software, hardware that sits above the road or in vehicles in pockets. But common sense says that it is a far lower cost approach to solving the congestion problems we have through technology than it is through expanding roads and building more roads.
You talked about disruptive business models. What do you mean by that? I mean, in this sector, what are the disruptive
The classic that everyone cites is Uber. Uber is a disruptive business model. It's sown a seed, it's grown virally. It is going to change how transport works. It's going to change how public transport works, whether it's Uber or others. Bus transport, for example, there is a vision of the future that says in 5 or 10 years, so not that distant future, there will be no bus companies as we know them now, because Uber or Uber-style models will have taken over. Should
the traditional consultants and contractors fear their lunch being stolen by the Googles? No?
Absolutely not. The point I think is, and it's reflected in the principles of the new Transport Technology Forum, are that the pie is getting bigger. There's more for us to eat. There's more for the technology companies to aspire to. So reinforces the point that we shouldn't be aggressively competing with each other. DINIC shouldn't be aggressively competing with Google. Obviously, there's a different size in there, but they can actually work together. So we're in discussion with Google, with EA, with TomTom, and all those companies.
But of course, technology solutions are evolving. Is there a big decision that infrastructure firms, infrastructure operators have to make now about fixing on a certain technology? Is there a fear that they might fix on the wrong technology?
There is a fear that caution will come in and procrastination will play its usual role. In the electronics industry, one of the principles of research and development and innovation is fail fast. We need to be trying to implement that in road transport. So, for example, in the case of cooperative systems, we should be trying things, implementing tools, techniques, equipment, systems, and know-how, and seeing how it works. I think we need to be having more pilots, more opportunities to prove what is potential, and not worrying about the fact that actually it cannot do any real harm. Clearly, we need to make sure it doesn't. But on the basis that what you implement cannot do any harm, it can only do good, and that good may only be learning to improve other approaches.
Presumably, you feel quite comfortable and inspired, perhaps, about the long-term funding settlement that the Highways Agency, for instance, has got, or Highways England's got. You do feel inspired by that long-term settlement that Highways England's got.
I do, but the point's been made today that the local authorities who feed and are fed by the Highways England network have to have the funding and the control as well, and they need to be coordinated because there's a big of a problem there. But also, we know that although Highways England has declared funding and has a delivery plan, that delivery plan is currently shifting to the right for various reasons. And so I hope that Jim O'Sullivan is able to get control enough to get their programme into a state where it's being delivered, and gives the supply chain the confidence that it can commit to that.
Yeah. And it's confidence to be disruptive, to be bold, to come up with new things that haven't been thought of before.
Yes.
Or delivered
Absolutely.
before, yeah. Okay. Daniel, thanks very much for joining us here. It's an exciting world, and you've got your work cut out.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.